Good evening, family, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Going On. What's going on in your life? What's going on in my life? What's going on in America? What's going on all over the world? Well, I welcome you tonight. If you are joining me for the first time, or maybe you just browsing and you run into this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We thank you for subscribing, and also press that notification bell so that every time we come live, you will be notified. Again, thank you for allowing me into your home, allowing me to come on your TV, on your device, on your Android phone, on your Apple phone, on your iPad. God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. Thank you. Well, I'm your host, Pastor Akin Bandele, right here in Houston, Texas. As you can tell, I said our topic tonight is simply double agents. Double agents. I know you're scratching your head and say, what's that? Is that Agent 007? Well, you'll find out in a minute. Do me a favor, share, like, and comment on our broadcast tonight. I see several of you have joined us. I know some of you may be watching on your television, so you are not able to actually comment. But if you are on your device, you can comment and let me know where you are joining us from. Mrs. Roberts, thank you very much for joining us. Genevieve, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Everyone that's joining us, we welcome you tonight. Double agents. Double agents. You ever wondered how people act when they are with you, how they act when they are at home, how they act when they are on the job, how they act when they are at the courthouse? We're going to be having that discussion tonight. And let me preface by saying many people, if not everybody, has three personalities. Everybody. And you may disagree with me, and that's fine. But let's just follow me for a minute tonight. You know, everybody has what I call a public life. A public life. What you want people to know about you. Public life, how you express yourself on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. The public life is how you want people to perceive you. You want them to see you as a handsome man, as a beautiful young lady. You want them to see you as a person that travels a lot, based on what you show on social media. You want them to look at you as a successful person. You want them to look at you as somebody that's happy and somebody that's well-to-do. Public life is the persona that you are portraying, what you want people to think about you. It may not be who you are. It may not be the person that you are, but that's what you want them to perceive you as. That's the public life. And everybody has that. You can go on Facebook right now and you see people smiling and giving encouraging words, and they are homeless. I've been on a social media where there is this lady that was encouraging people and teaching Bible study and telling them about this, not knowing that she was actually living in her car, taking a shower at motels and hotels, and going live to portray a certain lifestyle. So that's public life. Public life. And then I believe, in my opinion, People also have what I call their private life. Private life is only shown to people that are close to you, like your children, your mom, your dad, your nephews, your closest friends. That's your private life. Uh, and the private life sometimes seems to be a little bit more open because you see these people probably daily, you talk to them daily, or at least once or twice a week. They have spent night in your home, in your apartment, in your condo. They've been on vacation with you. They've seen you when you cut folk off on the freeway and cuss them out. They've seen you shoplift at the grocery store. They've seen you pick up somebody else's wallet when it drops on the floor, and you just walk off and put it in your pocket. That's the private life I'm talking about. Things that you do that only your closest people know. Key to the B say, oh, here we go. Yeah. So that's what's going on. So we have the public life, and then you have the private life. Then there is another life. I call it the secret life. That is the life that your wife may not even know, your girlfriend may not even know, your husband may not even know. Secret life of maybe doing drugs, and only you and you alone know it. Or robbing banks that nobody knows except for your people that you rob banks with, your family, your children, nobody knows it. That's the secret life. Or you having besides the drug problem, maybe you have a sexual immorality problems that only you know about. Things that when you are in public and you're praying, you don't mention it. You just go, Lord help me when, That's secret life. So everybody, every one of us, most people have those three lifestyles. The public life, the private life, and the secret life. So the secret life is only between you and God. The private life is between you and your closest relatives and your closest friends. And then the public life is what everybody knows. Now, I was having a discussion with one of our young adults, and they were talking about, how people can proclaim to be a Christian and they act certain way at church, but in their private life, at home, they're a totally different person. That's the dialogue we want to have tonight. How do you correlate the two? How do you deal with, and my thing is, I think people keep private life because they don't want to be judged, or they don't want to be misunderstood, or they don't want to be transparent. There's a brother that wrote a book not too long ago, a book maybe about 2-3 years ago. It's called Naked But Not Ashamed. You're only naked with your spouse, your significant other, and you are not ashamed. But you won't go naked on the street. I know some of you will. Some of you will at the swimming pool and all that. But most people that say I have their marble, that say I have common sense, they dress moderately when they're in the public. So what do you feel about people having those lives? And I want you to comment tonight. I don't want it to be a monologue tonight. I want us to dialogue and comment. What do you think? Start, typing on your device, and I will read the comments, and I will read the way you feel. Now, another thing is this. In the public life, people tend to judge you by what they see without even knowing who you are. They don't really know you. They are an acquaintance. You know, they see the photoshopped photos of you. They see a choreographed video of you. You are at somebody else's house and you're showing all their fancy stuff in the background. Because that's the persona you want people to see. You are in a restaurant and you order just French fries, but you take the video of the ones that ordered the T-bone steak and some vegetables and some drinks. You video their plate, but you don't video yours. But that's what you want people to think, that you are eating good. You are in somebody else's house and you keep their car in the background of your video to show off. So public life is almost like a show off, really. Trying to impress folk that you don't really like with the money that you don't have. So that's public life. Now, I'm not saying everybody is like that, but most people, the public life is not who they are in private. For instance, you know I've met pastors of churches that get drunk, but their members don't even know it. But other pastor friends of theirs know that their pastor is a drunk, or that their pastor is shooting up cocaine, okay? Or that pastor is always in hotels and motels with women. Only the close circle know that, but the public doesn't even know that. And usually, when the private life or the secret life is revealed to the public, people try to cancel them out. Let's talk about it. I'm not hearing nothing from none of y'all. I'm just rambling on and trying to see where you're at. But nobody's commenting, nobody's saying nothing. Maybe because some of you may not be saying nothing because you got secret lives that you don't even want to start commenting. You don't want nobody to know. But this is just a brainstorming dialogue tonight, where I just want to hear, what do you think? Do you think people have the right to have those double lifestyles, where they are one way outside, they are outside their home, they are one way to the public, but they are different way in their private lives and in their secret lives? What do you all think? What do you think? I'm going to wait. I don't know if my device is slow or you guys are just slow. Because I'm not seeing any comments from anybody right now. Well, so with there is a second part of the conversation, and I believe the person that brought this to me was actually my wife. She's not even on right now. You know, that's usually the case. People want to find a solution to something, but they're not involved in their own deliverance. She mentioned earlier that something about the fact that how people don't do what God has them to do, but they want a different result. I believe it was a conversation between her and another young person, and I'm not seeing any comments right now, so I can't even comment on that. So while I'm waiting on their comments, what about the private life? Do you think it's fair for the people that's in your inner circle to reveal your private life that they know to public? Could that be looked upon as betrayal? That you betray your closest friend, your close friend that let you know she has a drinking problem, but she confided in you that she has a drug abuse problem, and now you put all her information out on IG and Facebook. Could that be considered betrayal? Let's hear it. I see it coming from Key to the B. I find it hard to have a double life. how I am in public is how I am in private. I tend to disagree. I know you're probably saying, yeah, that I tend to disagree. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Like when I eat African food in the public, it's totally different the way I eat it at home. Because in public, I don't want the pepper soup to be on my clothes. Sometimes I even use fork and knives to cut into meat that if I was home, I would just grab it and eat it with my hand. So right there, my style of public eating is different than my private eating. Let me give you another example. In public, I dress really nice. I put a cologne on. I smell good. But in my private life, I can be in my PJ all day long. I can be in a dirty, turn-up T-shirt in my house all day long, because that's my private life. So for somebody to say, well, no, my private life, my public life is the same, that may be true for you, but I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Because, you tend to, even talking to somebody outside, you may be very nice to them, but in your private life, when you are talking to your best friend, you tend to be more honest with them. You call them out of their name sometimes. In your public life, you may pretend that you like the Rockets, or that you like the Golden, what was the name of that team? Huh?
Warriors.
The Warriors. Or there's another one that I'm thinking about, their color is green. The Celtics. I'm witness to a situation just this week where a young person was watching a game and he was rooting for a team that's playing against his friend, to where there's a conversation. Man, you're a hater. You're hating on the team that your friend likes. And it was so funny. But the person likes who they like for a reason. It's not because they didn't like the Celtics, but the other team they were playing, this person seems to be rooting for that team, knowing that his friend actually likes the Celtics to win the game. Long story short, the other team won. And Celtics lost the game. And, he got on the phone call with his friend and said, hey, your boys lost. Just kind of rub it in, okay? And I'm in the conversation with other people in that while they were watching the game. Say, man, you're a hater, man. You know, your friend likes Celtics. Why are you liking other team? And now, I'm not saying that's a private or a public life, but I'm just saying, we're not always usually the same in a public and private life. I'll give you another example. There was a game where it was my son and I were watching the game together. My son, Femi. And some of you call him Josh. But anyway, he likes the Celtics, and I like I believe it's the Warriors. And because I just like one of the players, always shooting three-pointers and all that, I even have a nickname for him. I'm not going to say it online. But anyway, we were watching the game at his house, and I was rooting for the other team besides the team. Not because I didn't love my son, but just because I like this one person on this other team. I like the way he plays. I like his style. I like, the way he moves around the court and all that stuff. I just like him. But I don't have anything. No, I'm not vested in any of the teams personally. But I just like to watch him play. So, my son kind of, he got salty. He said, man, you're gonna have to go watch that game at your house. You're rooting for somebody else in my house. So it was just kind of funny. But anyway, you see, public and private life can actually be different. Key to the BC minus personal business between me and my wife. Well, even the business between husband and wife, It may be private, but many times people take it public without letting the public know who they are talking about. Let's say the wife, let me just give an example. Maybe the wife has not cooked in 3 months. They will take it public this way. Man, can anybody recommend where I can eat? I've not been able to eat at home in a while. Without actually saying my wife is a bad cook or my wife doesn't cook. They're going to say, can you recommend a restaurant to a brother? I need a good place to have a good meal. So people that know that you are married, they don't really know that you're talking about your wife. But some people would think, okay, his wife must don't know how to cook. If he's looking for a place to have a good meal, which means he's saying he never has good meals at home. And he may not even mean that. Okay, but he can in a way. So that's what I'm saying about your persona to the public and also the private life. I'm waiting for Lady Betty to come in because she has a question, but I've not seen her question yet. If anybody is close to Lady Betty, let her know I'm waiting on her question because she has so many questions while I was preparing for this program, and now she's silent as a church mouse. She ain't saying nothing to nobody. But anyway, let's deal with why do you think that it may be a safe place to have a different public life from a private life? I mean, is there really, do you think that's bad? What's your opinion? Do you think that is bad? Now, somebody just says on language, yes. I do censor my vocabulary, time and place for certain conversation. Now we're talking. Because when you are in the church, you may not use cuss words. When you are in front of your pastor, you're not going to cuss. When you are singing in the choir, you won't cuss or use abusive language or use profanity. But when you are in your car by yourself talking to some homeboys, you're cussing like a sailor. You're a double agent. You are an agent at the church. Or maybe you're on your job in front of your boss. You are a double agent because you speak one way to your boss, but when your boss is not there, and you are with your co-workers at the restaurant, you cussing him out and calling him all out of his name. That is what we are talking about, being a double agent. Having a public lifestyle and a private lifestyle. When you are in public, you won't walk around farting at everybody's table. Passing gas. You won't pass gas in front of, you won't pass gas. Let's say you take a young lady out on a date. You won't sit there and pass gas. But then after you all get married, you walk past her and you pass gas. See, that is not what you do in public. Now, some nasty people do that in public, okay? But generally, people they act decent in public. Or let's say you are at your mother-in-law's house or your parents' house. You don't sit there and start smoking dope or shooting up drugs unless your parents also do drugs. So you're partners in crime. But you put your best you put your best foot forward at your parents' home or at your in-laws' home. But when you are by yourself or you are with other folk, you cuss. I give you an example. My daughter was talking to her friend one day, and she just happens to have this friend on the cell phone. And I'm telling you, every word out of that boy's mouth was a cuss word. I mean, just cussing and cussing and cussing. Finally, my daughter told him, hey, my dad can hear you. Well, why did you take me off the speakerphone then? So he was ashamed that, he cussing like that. But I never knew him to just cuss like a sailor like that. But That is the private life that I'm talking about. In public, very smooth going, talk, real calm and all that. But then in private, he's cussing and yelling when about to take somebody's head off. Now, we got it coming from Brother Femi. Why do people have double standards? Why do people have double standards? Now, I'm going to try to understand that question. Let me see. Double standard, let me make sure we are on the same wavelength. Let's say if I see somebody that's broke, I may give them $20, right? Or if I'm giving somebody that really don't have a whole lot of money, if I want to help them, I may give them $10 or $20. But then maybe my best friend or my closer relative, I give them $50. Is that what you mean by double standard? Or maybe the way I treat one person than the way I treat somebody else. Give an example like a church. Maybe you are more lenient on somebody that's in leadership or somebody that you care about or somebody that you like more. And then somebody that's just a Joe Blow that's new, you are harder on them. That would be considered double standard. Is that what you are referring to? Why do people have double standard? Somebody said they are in the hospital. Symmetra says she's in the hospital. She's watching me in the hospital. I pray that all is well with you. I don't know what you are doing in the hospital, whether you are working or you are there to be taken care of. I pray that all is well. I check on you after my broadcast tonight. I just pray everything is well with you. Amen. Brother Femi, I think society has made it easy and made it normal to live double life. Because at work, there is a sudden voice or way of communication versus when you are at home with friends. 100%, Brother Femi, I 100% agree with you. 1,000%, you are so right. That's what I was telling Key to the B, that when he said he has the same lifestyle in the public as he has in private, I said, no, I don't believe so. Even me as a pastor, at people that are at church or people that I'm not very close to, I won't yell at them. I won't raise my voice at them. I may not even be 100% honest with them. But let's be real. I mean, if you are just new, you are new to New Covenant, and you come in there smelling like a skunk, I'm not going to come up to you and say, man, you smell bad. I wouldn't do it. So that would be considered double standard because, number one, because I don't know you, I won't do it. But let's say you've been at our church for about a year, and you come in there looking like you have not taken a bath in a month. I'm going to say something to you. That, hey, bro, you smell bad. What happened? They turn your water off, or you don't have no soap? Okay? Or my voice may even be stronger talking to you than I would talk to somebody that's new, that I don't have a real relationship with. And again, it's because they don't know me. I don't know them. I'm nicer to them. And it tends to be something like my brother Femi is saying, that the society has made it easy and made it normal to live double life, because they made it normal or easy because if you are brutally honest with somebody that you just met, they may never get to know you. You may never get to know the real person. And they may even look at you and say, you are so rude to me, and not knowing that you were just being brutally honest. So yeah, brother Femi, I agree with you that the society they made it easy and they condone it. Uh, because I work, yeah, even on my job, uh, there, if you, there are certain way I will communicate with my staff. But if you are not, especially because I'm paying you, I am the one writing your paycheck. I'm signing your paycheck. So there's certain way I will talk to you. But if you are my family member that maybe you are helping me out, or like my son, for instance, he works with me in my computer business. There are certain way I will talk to him that I will talk to an outsider. There are certain way I would interact with him because he's my son. It's my blood, in my flesh and blood. Uh, Even some mistakes that I will stop him from making. And that may be considered a double standard. That I have a standard for my family than I have for non-family members. Okay? So thank you very much, Brother Femi, for that insight and for your comment. Symmetra, I'm here because I've been having chest pain. You've been there for 2 days now. Sister Symmetra, I know I've not seen you at church and you have not texted me, you have not called me. You have not let nobody know that you are sick. There's no way we don't read, we're not a psychic hotline. When something is going on, the Bible says, if any is sick among you, do you need to tell the elders, make it known to the elders. The prayer of faith will heal the sick. And if you've committed any sins, we'll pray they will be forgiven. So I'm sorry that you are in the hospital, but nobody knows you are in the hospital. Just you and probably your daughter. Nobody knows in the church. Nobody knows in our congregation of care. But we'll pray for you that everything is well. And let me talk to you all while I'm on that point. See, when you are part of a local church, like New Covenant, you are not just a number at the church, you are a family member. You got to communicate. And by the way, we have a new app now that even if you cannot call, which I've been promoting the app now for the past 3 and 4 weeks, you could have gotten on the app and put a prayer request, and our prayer team, prayer and intercessory ministry will have been praying for you. People will have sent you messages. But anyway, I pray that all is well when they run the test. You need to not stress yourself out too much. She says Sister Nancy knows. Sister Nancy didn't tell anybody. So I'm glad you told Sister Nancy, but she did not tell us and she did not put it on the platform to let us know that you need prayer. We have prayer on Tuesday on our prayer line. Nobody said anything. And then I believe I saw Sister Nancy at church on Wednesday. I talked to her. She didn't tell me anything. Anyway, you also have the church line, the church phone number. You can call the church phone number, 713-777-5759. Or you can even reach out to the number that's an emergency number for the church, 713-777-5000. That's an emergency number for the church, 713-777-5000. When you have an emergency like that, call that number. And if it's not answered, leave a message and somebody will reach back out to you. Anyway, Sister Metra, we're going to keep you in prayer that God will touch you and heal your body. And keep us updated and download the app so that you can put your prayer requests in. We're praying for you, sis. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Amen. Do you think a person who lives one way in public and different at home is an unstable person? I don't think so. I don't believe so. Like I said in the beginning, Brother Femi, thank you for that comment. And actually, because you are about the only one commenting right now, I think I'm going to give you $25 because you are keeping the conversation going. I make that $50. I make that $50. So, Brother Femi, you got $50 tonight. But keep the comment coming. I want this to be a conversation. I don't want it to be a monologue tonight. Keep the conversation coming. Brother Femi, the person who lives one way in public and different at home, they are not unstable. Let me explain what I mean by that. Two things. Number one, they are protecting themselves sometimes and their loved ones from hurt. Let me give you an example. Let's say in the public, they drive a nice car, even though it's on E most of the time. They clean up their car before they come out to the public. But when they are home, the car can stay dirty, can be full of trash, because nobody's riding in there with them. When they are home, they may eat peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But when they are outside, they may spend money that they don't have to impress folk that they are eating with. And they order a T-bone steak with a credit card. They order a bottle of wine, $50, $70, $100 bottle of wine, because they're trying to impress somebody outside. Does that mean they are unstable? No, no. It's just that is the public persona that they want. They don't want people to get in their inner circle to know the pain that they are feeling, or to know that they are not financially stable, because they wanted to protect themselves of the embarrassment, or sometimes they want to protect their ego. They want to protect themselves from being transparent to people they don't really know intimately. So I won't call that being unstable. I will call it trying to protect your ego in a way, or maybe trying to protect the other person from really knowing who you are. I give you an example, like I can yell and scream at Bex or Raymond, my oldest son, or even Joshua, for doing certain things. But if somebody else does it on the outside, I may not yell at them. I may not scream at them. It's not because I'm unstable. It's because I have a personal vested interest in my sons and daughters, to where my love for them may make me go deeper to deal with the issue. With somebody on the outside, I won't be so rough with them, because I know if they self-destruct, it doesn't really affect me personally. Yeah, it may affect me because there is somebody that I know. But personally, give you an example. Let's say somebody is not, you're just an acquaintance, somebody in the public, and you are wasting your money, and you are buying this and buying that and buying this. I may talk to you, and I'm going to talk to you nicely that, hey, don't do that. Credit card rate is too high on all that. And you can listen to me, and you don't have to listen to me. It's not going to go any deeper than that. But if you are my son and you are my daughter or my wife, oh, you're going to get real. Say, hell no, you're not going to buy that right now, because you're about to mess up your credit. If you mess up your credit, I'm going to have to bail you out. You can't do that, okay? And you can argue me up and down, and I'm going to tell you, listen, this is not the life you need to be living. See, I may not be able to tell somebody else on the outside that, because they may not take it. And they may even come back and say, hey, no, it's none of your business. I do what I want to do. YOLO. You only live once. So that doesn't make me live in a double standard. Well, you may call it a double standard because I have a standard with my family and I have a standard with the public. So, Brother Femi, I think I'll agree with you that, yeah, it may be a double standard. I'm a double agent. I treat my sons, my daughters, my grandchildren a little bit different than I would treat somebody in the public. I discipline them different, or I talk to them different than I would talk to somebody outside. I'll give you an example with my wife. There are certain things that she eats that I don't like. There are certain things that she consumes that I don't like. And I will constantly just badger her. And even sometimes she gets mad at me. Leave me alone. And even there have been times that my children will say, leave mama alone. Well, I still do it till today. Why? It's because Not because I have a double standard. Well, it's a double standard. It's a double standard because the reason I'm like that with her is because if she ends up with a terminal disease, it's almost like I'm sick. Because now I got to take care of her. I got to take her to the hospital. I got to deal with her being in pain. I got to deal with her having to have an organ, dysfunction. I have to deal with her with limbs being cut off. So it's more almost selfish on my part because I don't want to see her go through that. But with somebody on the outside, I may say it once, twice, or three times, and then I leave it alone. Because if they end up with lung cancer, it doesn't really directly affect me. It's going to affect their wife and their children. If they end up with colon cancer because of the way they eat, it really doesn't personally affect me. Yeah, I may feel empathy for them, but it's not going to cost me on my health insurance. It costs them. So that is a double standard. It's a double-edged sword. Now, if Lady Betty was not my wife, I don't care if she smoked herself to death or if she is herself to death. Because I know if she dies, it doesn't affect my life insurance. It doesn't affect my money. Okay? Or if she ends up with a disease caused by the food. Okay? If it's because if she ends up with a disease caused by the food that she's eating, it's going to affect my insurance, my medical insurance. It's going to affect our home. It's going to affect our children. Okay? If you have to take care of somebody that let their body go. I was talking to my oldest son about that. He went back smoking again, cigarette. And I told him, son, you need to cut it out. Because if you go develop lung cancer or some kind of disease from smoking, you're going to affect your wife, your children. You're going to affect me, your mom, your brother, and your sisters. So that's why. So, Brother Femi, and that's the double standard or the different standard that I think, to me, is normal. It's normal for me. It may not be normal for somebody else, but for me, it is normal. Vivian, but that is double standard. Most people that are having depression, they don't show it until they get home. Now, she's hitting on something else right there. Vivian just hit on another area of double standard where they show a good face outside, but really they are depressed. Only their children on their family know that they are depressed. Let me even go deeper, Sister Vivian. They may even have a secret life to where nobody on the outside knows they are battling cancer. They are private. Their parents, their children, their spouse don't even know. It's only them, and then when they die, people find out. And I have a situation like that where a sister passed away and the husband did not know she had cancer. He didn't know. He told me, Pastor, I never knew she had cancer. I just knew she was losing weight, and she said there was nothing wrong. She was sleeping in a lot. She will go to the doctors and all of this stuff. She never told the family member until she was in the last stage, like 2-3 days before she died. That's when they found out. I had another situation where I visited somebody in the hospital that I went with the cousin of this person. And this person actually was dying of AIDS, but nobody knew it but his wife. And when her cousin, or his cousin rather, took me there to visit them, the cousin didn't know either, because he told them he had cancer, that he was dying of cancer, but they didn't know it was AIDS. So this is a private life. Only him and his wife knew. His own cousin didn't even know. But the doctor came in after he passed that night, because we were there when he passed. And the doctor, just not knowing, that this cousin did not know that this person had AIDS. And the doctor blubbed it out that, some people with AIDS, it happens that way where, and the cousin just kind of looked at me like, I didn't know. So, and we talked about it later. She did not know that cousin had AIDS. This is kind of thing I'm talking about, a public life, a private life, and a secret life. Okay. Again, thank you, Brother Femi. Thank you, Sister Vivian. I'm not hearing for Lady Betty. Lady Betty had a question earlier, but I don't know if she's using someone else's device. But anyway, well, family, my time is almost up tonight. I want to thank you for joining me. In summary, if you are dealing with a terminal disease, if you are dealing with depression, if you are dealing with mental illness, please, please, please don't make it so private or so secret. Try to let your loved ones know so that they can help you to carry that burden. God made us to be a support for one another. Let your children know. Let your spouse know. Let your best friends know. They know you well enough that they can give you the support that you need. Especially when it comes to terminal disease like cancer or you're having a heart, a triple bypass, or you are suffering from depression or mental health. It's good to let your close circle know so they can be of support to you. They may be able to recommend an external support, maybe a hotline that you can call to get help, or maybe recommend you to a doctor to give you, if it's a chemical imbalance, they can recommend medication. So be very careful, trying to keep those kind of things private and secret, because there may be somebody out there in your inner circle that has a solution that can help you. Okay? If you are hurting, and that's why I believe everybody should have a pastor. Everybody should have a pastor. You should have a best friend that you can confide in and let them know your secrets, what you are going through. Don't die alone. Don't carry the heavy burden by yourself. Let me help you share the burden. Let your spouse help you share that burden. Let your children help you share that burden. Let your best friend help you share that burden. When I have a major issue, major problem, whether it's health, finances, investments, or whatever it may be, I usually share it with my inner circle. I share it with my children. I share it with my wife. I share it with my best friend. But those are people that can help you carry the burden. Okay? So be very careful about that. But I know sometimes we feel like we don't want to bother other people with our problems. But if they are your closest friends, if they are family, they should love you enough to want to help encourage you, lift you up, help carrying the burden, lighten your load, if you may. All right? Now, you need also a church or a pastor, a man and woman of God in your life. You need a church family that can pray with you and pray for you and fast with you and fast for you. Amen. Everybody, we need one another. I need you. You need me. I need you. I really do. And you need me. We are all part of one body, God's body. Okay? You pray for me. I pray for you. We all a part of the body of Christ. Amen. Sister Vivian, thank you very much for your comment. And Brother Femi, thank you for your comment. And also Brother Key to the B, thank you for your comment. And Mrs. Roberts, we only got one comment from you. Thank you. And Genevieve Jacko, thank you. Thank you for your comment also. Amen. Well, my time is up tonight. This is where I'm going to have to say good night. Tonight we've been talking about double agents. Double agents. It's not so bad in some ways to have your public life and the private life. You just have to be careful. It's a gray line. There are things that your close circle can help you with. Now, don't hang your dirty laundry in the public. You and your wife is going through something. Don't put it all on social media. Don't try to settle stuff on social media. They don't know you like that. They may comment and do all of this stuff. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're hurting yourself more than anything else. If you and your son, you and your mom, you and your dad have problems, don't try to settle the stuff on social media. So those people don't really know you, and they don't mean you well anyway. You know, they're just watching you. They're trying to see when you're going to fall. So be very careful with that. Anyway, that's all I have to say tonight. Again, thank you for joining me. This is where we end tonight. Well, I'm your host, Pastor Akin Bandele. Until next Thursday on this same channel, I'm going to sign off. You have you a good evening. I love you. Jesus loves you more, and there's nothing you can do about it. Good night.